Everybody wants to be successful, right? So many different definitions of success. Success means you won the prize, or you won the race, or you graduated from college and you got a degree and you've got a piece of paper that says you're a success. You completed college, you completed high school, you got a job, you got a promotion, you're successful. You want to write a book and you want to get the book published and you're successful. Success has so many different meanings for different people. But for my definition of success, it's always been this definition by Henry David Thoreau that I believe to be success and what success really means to me. And I offer it up to you because I think success is way overplayed. I think people, if they're not a success, they feel like a failure. And if you're a failure, that means you don't fit in the world, or you're not content with what you're doing. You're always striving. You're never arriving. You never get a chance to pull the gold ring on the Ferris wheel that we go around in this life. And it's just constantly going around and around and around. And it's a merry-go-round. And life has a tendency to take you on this journey. But then if you don't get to pull the brass ring, if you don't ring the bell, you didn't win. You're not a success. And people put their identity in success. And they think that that's really what matters, is to be a success. And Henry David Thoreau has said it best, in my opinion, about the definition of success. And his definition of success has become my definition of success, and I offer it up to you. He states, "When one advances confidently in the direction of their own dreams and endeavors to live the life they have imagined, you will meet with a success unexpected in common hours. Success will begin to chase you," he further says. I believe that success is a feeling, a state of mind. You live in your imagination. You're successful when you have a successful present moment. When your day is a success, when you feel successful, when you feel good and content, and you contemplate your life in a way that makes you feel good. It's not so much about the outcome, it's about a feeling. When you advance confidently in the direction of your own dreams, meaning you believe they're happening, you will find a success when you imagine your success. I believe that imagination is the greatest gift God has ever given any of us. It's our greatest gift. It's our greatest power. When you think from the end, when you imagine what you want, as Henry David Thoreau teaches us, your imagination, when you advance confidently in your imagination and you imagine what you want and you live there consistently. When you think from the end, that's using your imagination. When you think about the end, that's not using your imagination. About the end and from the end are two different times in space. When you live about the end, you write your goal down, you hope it's going to happen, and then it's out there. It's something that's in the future. When you're in your imagination, when you think from the end, it's happening right now. You imagine right now, it's actually already happening. Your dream is already a success. You already feel it. You live it in. You image it in your life. You feel it each moment, and you live there. And then all of a sudden, one day, time passes, and you do that consistently, and your dream shows up. Henry David Thoreau speaks of common hours. Those common hours are everyday life. So when you advance confidently in your direction of your own dreams and you endeavor to live the life you have imagined, you will meet with a success unexpected in common hours, he states. That's the common hours. That's every day we live in. The now, the present moment is always there for you to use. Your imagination is always there for you to use. When you live in those moments, when you live there with your heart and with your soul and with your existence and your being and your hopes and your dreams, then you can imagine what you want. It's when you let the world take you out of that successful present moment, that successful imagination, that successful image that you have of yourself being a success. Your doubts can cut in, and the doubts are usually all around you in your world. I find that your imagination is best served when you clear your imagination, especially before you sleep, because your subconscious mind is where you're going to marinate in that experience for 4 hours. They say the last thought that you have, the last event that happens to you, let's say you're watching TV before you go to bed, it lasts in your subconscious mind for 4 hours. So you wonder when you wake up and you had a really bad night of sleep and you just had some traumatic thing happen, or you watch the news when there's some terrible, unfortunate thing happen in the world, and your mind is playing that image over and over in your mind. And then you wake up and you're wondering why, man, I feel upset. And then the momentum of your day is changed. You wake up upset. You just have this series of events that takes you out of really what you want. And then at the end of your month, the end of your year, you find out, wow, I followed this trajectory. It's been stacking on stacking on stacking of bad habits. And William Wordsworth said, habits rule the unreflecting herd. We're all ruled by our habits. And if you don't change your habit, you don't have a better habit and a better consistency of habit, then you're not going to change your stars. You're not going to change your ultimate outcome. And imagination is that gift. You can use your imagination, especially before you go to sleep, and especially before you wake up in the morning, before you get out of bed. Imagine what you want. Imagine feeling it in your body. Imagine thinking from the end instead of about the end. It's already happened. When you wake up from that imagination, from that feeling of being in that moment and that focus or that outcome that you really want to happen, that intention, when you come to and you open your eyes, it should be like, how come it's not here? I can't believe it doesn't exist, because you believe it in such a way that you magnetize it to you, and it will show up in your life. By virtue of the law of attraction, the law of love, it will be magnetized to you because you will be in alignment with that imagination through that feeling. And all of a sudden, these synchronicities start showing up in your life, and these events, these spiritual breadcrumbs start showing up in your life. And you start to take notice and realize, that's weird. The number 1111 keeps showing up on the clock every time I'm thinking about my goal, or every time I start thinking about that person, or that ultimate focus that I want to have in my life, how to be happy, how to be full of joy. And all of a sudden, the license plate in front of you says 1111, or the time on your clock on your car is 1111. That's the number of heaven. There's a synchronicity in that number. And everybody has their own number. It doesn't necessarily have to be 1111. That just happens to be my number of synchronicity. And the universe is kind of conspiring and giving you a wink and saying, hey, remember me? I'm here. I'm showing up in the physical world in this number, in this form, just so you can be aware of me just for a moment and know that your thinking and your feelings right now are correct. And I'm here to conspire to help you with your dreams, with your imagination, with your success. As Henry David Thoreau teaches us, success. You can only have successful present moments. You can't be successful. I mean, you just go on to the next thing and the next thing and the next thing. You know, success changes in your life because you'll have different goals, you'll have different focuses, different outcomes. It's so important to realize that success will chase you when you live this way, when you live from the end instead of about the end. It will chase you and it will find you. It's inevitable. So many signs show up in your life that you don't pay attention to. The book that I've written is called The Now-ist, Finding the Signs to Your Ultimate Desire in No Time. The now lives in no time, and the signs are always around you when you connect to the present moment and you're imagining what you want. It happens to me daily. Just the other day, I was driving down the road and I had this epiphany. I was having these thoughts of this new idea for this series of videos and thinking about what I wanted to say and how I wanted to present this book to the world and how I wanted to present myself to the world as a spiritual teacher, someone that's so passionate about the now. As I'm contemplating this, I stop at a red light and the car in front of me, literally license plate said 1111 1 1111. There were all 11s all the way across, 7 11s. We live in California, so you got 7 digits on your license plate. They were all ones. And I knew that was a sign. I've never seen that license plate. I don't even know it existed. I didn't even know it was legal. But there it was in front of me. And I thought, there it is. There's a sign. There's a synchronicity. I'm supposed to pay attention. I know my success has to do with me connecting to it. It's always around me. I follow the signs. I have a greater feeling of confidence and detachment from the outcome. I think from the end instead of about the end. I know it's already done. It's just a matter of me aligning myself with that outcome and not fearing it and not doubting it and not living in scarcity and fear and all the things that this world tries to pitch you. It's a lie. It's not the truth. The truth is you are greater than you know. You're God. You are the I am that I am. You are presence. You are oneness. You just have to connect yourself to it. You have to be here in this moment with all your heart and think about what you want and feel what you want. Most importantly, be what you want and do it consistently in your imagination. And then the world will show up and the world and the universe will conspire to help you. And then you will have everything you want to be because you realize you're already a success. You're greater than you know.